Welcome to chair yoga. Let's take a nice breath here. In through the nose and out through the nose. Mindfully breathing. Breathing is something that we do automatically. We don't really think about it during the day. So we come to our yoga practice and we give it a little attention as we breathe in and we breathe out. In through the nose, out through the nose. Once your breath is nice and even here, we can soften the body. Soften the shoulders down your back. Feel the support of your feet on the floor and your sit bones in the chair. Sitting maybe 2 or 3 inches away from the back of the chair so that as we do our movements today, we have room. We'll start with the head and neck. So let's turn our chin over our shoulder, keeping it parallel, and then bring it back to center. Other shoulder. Just notice how your neck feels. No need to force it. Just trying to find some ease of movement here. And then bring it back to center, and let's take the nose into a circle and go in the other direction. And then once again, sit tall, shoulders over your hips, resting your hands. Turn your head again, chin over shoulder. Bring it back to center, other way. And now we'll tilt the ear towards the shoulder, drawing the shoulder down. Stretching opposite side of the neck. And then bring it back to center, other side. Bringing the shoulder down. And then bring it back to center. Let's take a nice big inhale here. Rain the fingers out and down. Give them a little wiggle. And place your hands on your hips and let's lift one foot and point and flex. And then place that foot down and bring it up again and down again, getting into the hip. Let's step it out to the side and bring it back. Opening up in the inner thigh. One more. And back. Sitting tall, let's lift the other foot. Point and flex. And then tap and lift. See how that feels in your hip here. And now take it out to the side as much as you can and bring it back to center. And then leaving the feet in front, parallel, let's just rock from side to side, hip to hip here. Notice the shift of weight, not only in your hips, but your feet. And then come back to center. Let's take one arm out, reach it out in front of us, and then bring it back and in. Let's try that on the other side. Reaching it out, bending the elbow, and bringing it back in. Just alternate here. If you want to think of this as like swimming in the air here, that's what it looks like. The motion of the shoulders, the ribs. Hold the belly in a little here so that we stay nice and secure in the chair. One more time on each side. Lots of movement here. And then bring it to stillness. Take your fingertips to your shoulders and circle your elbows around. And circle them back and down. So not only are your elbows moving, but your arm is moving, and you feel it in your upper back here, hopefully. And then bring them out to the side and make circles here. And then circle in the other direction. Starting to warm up? I hope so. And then bring the hands back down to your lap, palm is up, and we tap the front of our shoulders. Keep the elbows in and tap the thighs up and down here. And then leaving the hands down, once again, place them on your hips. Lift one leg, kick it out, stretch it out, push through the heel, bring it back and down. Again, same side. Sitting tall, fighting the resistance to round the back here. And let's go to the other foot. Sit tall. Keep that posture and lift the leg and kick it out. Good. And then heel toe out to the side. And once again, we rock from hip to hip here. Notice the inner thigh stretch. And then come center, heel, toe, back to center. Now come forward just a little bit so that you can move your legs. And we're going to take one foot out and the other foot out. See how that feels? So the legs aren't completely straight, but you still have your feet on the floor. But there's a nice stretch here in the inner thigh. And then we'll take one hand up and the other hand up. And this is star in the chair. So we bring one hand in, the other hand in, one foot in, one foot in. So take your time, out and out with the feet, and then out and out with the arms. In, out, out. I almost got ahead of myself there. In. Now we can put it together. We can step the feet out and take both arms out. Lift through the front of your body here. Draw the belly in for strength. And then bring the hands down, bring the feet in. Both feet out, both arms out, in and in. How about feet out, arms out, and in, out. Go where you can. One at a time, both. One more. Sitting tall. Right here, rest your arms. And then we'll sit back in the chair a little bit so that you're in the center of the chair. And we lean forward and take the body into a circle. And then come up nice and tall. Let's go in the other direction 3 or 4 times. Just noticing how your body moves here. And then we come to sit. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Now I'm going to stand. You're welcome to stay in the chair and do some of the exercises in the chair. But by standing, we build greater strength and balance and stability. So let's work on that. Using the chair off to the side, you can have one hand on the chair. We stand tall in our mountain. If you can, both hands at your side, shoulders down your back. And just take a couple breaths here. As we started in the chair, so do we also start standing with noticing our breath. In and out through the nose. And then facing the chair now, we'll lift the heels. So an arm's length away, just the fingertips on the chair. If you find that you have good balance here, we can start to lift one arm and then the other. And then you can experiment with hovering both hands, and if that feels good, bring them all the way up and all the way down. So find which version of this heel lift is for you. And then bring the arms down, step a little closer to your chair and turn to the side. Hand on the chair, we lift one leg out to the side and back and down. Working the outer hip now. Stay here on this side of the chair. Lift, bring your arm out into a right angle, lift your knee and turn your elbow towards your knee. Notice when I start, I didn't touch the knee. I'm still working the abs. We're working the lower abs. If we want to get into the upper abs as well, we round the back and touch the knee. Keeping a hand on the chair for balance. Notice the difference when you round and tuck or when you just lift and move. Yeah, there's a bit of difference. And then pause and just see how one side feels to the other, starting to build the energy in this side of the body that we worked. We're going to work the other side of the body. I'm going to turn sideways here. And once again, well, let's start with the leg lifts. So giving myself a little room here, we lift the leg out to the side. Outer hip. And pause. And now arm at a right angle, we lift the knee, bring the elbow forward and down. Stay with this. See how it feels. And then if you want to add that crunch, we round and touch the elbow to the knee. Think about drawing the muscles of the belly in towards your spine. Keeping that other hand on the chair for stability. We're focused here on ab strength. And then pause and see how that feels. Come to your mountain. Breathe. And then the arms are going to come up. We're going to take a crescent stretch. But today I want you to think if you're holding a block, and actually if you have a block, you can actually hold the block up here, as long as it's nice and light. If you have no block, just keep the arms parallel. And we're going to bring that block more over our heads and then take it off to the side, stretching into the side body here. And then back to center and over to the other side. And back to center. So block, using a block. No block, arms stay parallel as if we're holding that block. And then we lift up and over to the other side. Let's do it one more time. Nice and tall here, chin tucked. Lean to one side. Reaching out. Come back to center, reach over to the other side. Reaching the arms out and up over the head. And then back to center and release them down. Just roll the shoulders and release the tension. Let the muscles come back to normal. And roll them forward. And then we'll face the chair and we're going to step one foot back. Keep that back leg straight but bend into the front knee. Now the back foot can be down or on the ball of your foot. We're going to come into our lunge. So we want to have a bend in that front knee, back foot back. Abs working upward, energy drawing upward. And we come into our lunge pose here. Inhale, and then open the elbows again and stretch through the front of the chest. Hold here. And then arms come back up overhead. And we release the arms down. Now I'm going to take it to a twist. So we keep one hand on the chair, and whatever leg's in front, the leg that's bent, that arm is going to make a nice big sweeping half circle as we turn the body towards that bent leg. And then we come back. Moving with our breath, we exhale here as we twist, squeeze out all the used up air. And then inhale through the nose, bring back fresh energy in. Again, keeping the legs steady. And inhale it back. Hand to the chair, step it back into our mountain pose. And then we'll do it on the other side. So we step the other foot back. Heel can be lifted. Front knee is bent. If you need to, put the back foot down. Take a shorter stance or a wider stance, depending on your lunge here today. Once you're nice and steady, arms can come up, or arms could once again come into goalposts, and we lift through the sternum of the body. And breathe here. Squeeze those shoulders down your back. And then release it. And we'll twist. So keep the one hand on the chair, whatever knee's in front. That arm's going to make that big arc out and around as we twist and look back behind us. Notice you're squeezing in the inner thighs. And then bring it on back. Inhaling here. Exhale. Twist. Inhale it back. One more. Hold it here for a moment. Reach back a little further and then release it forward. Step it in to our mountain pose. Next up are curtsies. And so I'm going to be sideways here. And I'm a little bit at an angle. You can face your chair, but I'm going to be at a little of an angle so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take one foot behind me, bend both knees, and then push up and step it back in. I have a hand on the chair for stability, but if you feel you have good stability now, you can do it with your hands on your hips and step it back in. Curtsies. Crossing over, squeezing the inner thighs, using the core muscles to lift you back to center. One more. And then just pause. And we'll do it on the other side. We step back, bending both knees now. And again, hand can be on the chair. And we come back in. Here or here. One more. And then we come to mountain and just notice how your legs feel. Nice and strong, I hope. So we're going to come into chair pose. So we're going to push the booty back, bring the arms parallel to the floor. And again, if you need to, you can use the chair here also. And just sitting down a little bit, draw the abs in. And then once again, lift that energy upward. Draw the belly in. And then we'll push up into tall mountain. So push through the feet, draw up through the pelvic muscles and the lower abs as you lift into tall mountain. And then release the arms. Let's do it again. Chair pose. Sink the booty back. Arms here. Breathe in. Push through the feet. Lift with the core muscles. Tall mountain. Really reach. And then release. One more. Chair. Belly engages and we lift and release. Take our hands to the back and let's just shake it side to side. And maybe take the hips into a circle, remembering to bend the knees here and the other way. And then just pause and notice the energy in your body here. We'll come back into the chair, so set your chair back up, come in front, make sure the chair's there, and then have a seat. Wonderful. So we're going to take our one foot and place it on top of the thigh of the other leg. Figure 4. Now, if this is really uncomfortable for you, because it's a deep stretch in that outer hip, you can be here and just drop the knee out and feel a stretch. For most of us, we don't feel anything when we do that, so we put the foot up onto the thigh. This knee can go out to the side as low as it will go with comfort. No need to have pain. Figure 4. Now, if you're not feeling anything here, you can lift your ribs, open up your palms, and lean into your figure 4, resting your forearms on your shin. Head is looking, about 6-8 feet in front of you on the floor. And you're secure. You're back in the chair so that you're secure in your chair, well supported here. One more breath here. Holding this static stretch here. until that muscle starts to get comfortable. And when it does, we know we've held it long enough. And then we can come up and release that foot down. Now take that same foot, scoot over to that side of the chair and straighten the leg. Keep the front foot on the floor. So if you need to come forward a little bit to get that foot on the floor, you can hold on to the chair in between the legs here and take the other arm up. Lifting up, we'll take a side stretch here into gate. Stay and breathe. And if your body is nice and steady here, you can take that bottom hand, you can press it into the side of the leg, or you can lift it up and out again as if we're holding that block. And then lift it up overhead and bring the hands to the heart. Carefully bend that extended leg and scoot back into your chair. Sitting 3/4 of the way in the chair, let's go to the other side. So again, you can cross the other foot in front now. Keep the one knee straight over the ankle and let the other knee fall out to the side. Or you can place it on your thigh here and just let gravity take hold of that knee. Out to the side, deep stretch in the outer hip. And again, we want that bottom foot underneath this foot for support. We lift through the heart. Now, if you're not feeling anything, okay, yeah, everybody's a little more flexible. You can lean into it and open your palms. So either position, any way that you can get that outer stretch in your hip, it's all good. And we stay wherever we're at and hold the pose. And when you're ready to come out of the pose, after that muscle has gotten a little more comfortable, then we take a nice deep inhale and come up and release that foot back down to the floor. Scoot over to that side of the chair and extend that leg now out to the side, coming into that side stretch, gate pose, holding on to the chair. Other arm up overhead alongside your ear, and we lean towards that extended leg. Front foot's on the earth here. Just breathe into it. You can press this bottom arm into the inner thigh. Or again, you could reach it out as if you're holding a block here. And breathe and make sure that this top shoulder is back so that you have that space in front of you. You have that energy that's in the room that you can gather in with a breath, and then exhale and soften. And then lift the arms all the way up, press palm to palm, and bring them in front of your heart. Holding on to the chair, carefully slide that extended leg in and scoot to the middle of your chair. Coming forward, we're going to do a little movement with the upper body. So we take the arms out, stretching them in opposite directions here. Really reach, reach, reach. And then take them up, press palm to palm, and float the hands in front of your chest here. Then release that. Make a little press here and then release it. Take the back of the hands to your back. Make sure you're secure in your chair, feet on the earth. We take a forward fold, just about 30 degrees here. Draw the belly in. Breathe up the spine, right through the crown of your head here. And then we'll spread those hands out to the side, turn the palms up. And we'll reach again, up overhead, press palm to palm, really press, 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 press as you bring them down. Pressing here strengthens the chest muscles in the front. Take a nice deep breath. As you exhale, we move the hands to the back and we take that forward fold. Keep the elbows out to the side. And then as you come up, you reach the arms in opposite directions, parallel to the floor. Inhale up, palm to palm, press, release, fold. Stretch the arms out in opposite directions. Up overhead, press palm to palm, really press. And as you bring them down, you feel that engagement of the chest muscles. Exhale and release, hands to your back, forward fold. One more time. Sit up tall. Arms in opposite directions. Inhale them up. Exhale them to the heart, pressing here. Take a breath. Exhale and then take the hands to the back. And on your next exhale, fold forward, keeping the elbows out to the side. And then come up, and this time we'll just release the hands to our lap. Notice that work in your back. Now, if that felt really good to you and you want to continue to do that, I invite you to do what's good for your body. I'm going to take us into camel. So we're going to do an easy camel in the chair. We're going to take the hands back to the chair. And I'm going to turn my chair a little bit so you can see it at an angle. And then lifting the ribs, pull the belly in for support. And remember, the back bend is in the middle of your back, not your lower back here. So we just pull the shoulders down for more support and look up. And then draw the hands down to deepen. So the hands slide down the back of the legs of the chair. And we hold in camel. We're holding the pose, feeling the engagement of the back and the lift through the front of the body. But we're breathing evenly in through the nose and out through the nose. And then on an exhale, that's when you release and bring the hands forward and just rock side to side here. Noticing any engagement or energy in your body. Let's take the body into a circle again. And in the other direction. And then we're going to lift one leg, interlace the fingers along just below the kneecap here. Now, if this is uncomfortable, you can always hold the back of the thigh. But I want you to remember that for this exercise, we're using the arms to move the leg. So the leg just kind of stays into this lock, this bind, and then we move it around into a circle using the arms. And then we'll circle in the other direction. And if you're here, it's the arms still are doing the work, just the leg is actually helping here. And then back to center. And release it. Let's do it on the other side. So we'll start out with our hands on the back of the leg, just so you could feel the difference. Use the arms and circle that leg. And then circle it in the other direction. Still sitting tall, still engaging the core, always. And now let's try it with the hands just below the kneecap here and see how that changes it just a little. But either way, you're getting some nice movement in that hip joint, other direction, sitting tall. And release it down, tap your toes. How did you do today? Did you enjoy this practice and get into some deeper stretches? I hope so. And then we'll stretch out the legs. So stretch out one leg, toes are up, and we can extend the arm to hover, or we could rest it on our thigh and lean into it a little bit. Really pull the toes back so you get that calf stretch. And then release that and do it on the other side, reaching out. Toes are up, pulling back towards the leg, leaning out over the leg to deepen the stretch. So make some comments. Let me know how you're doing with your yoga practice. And remember, I have lots of other videos online here at YouTube. So subscribe, search for Yoga by Bonnie, and find some other practices in the chair and standing, and then bring it back. Some of them are in our sneakers as we did today. Let's sit back all the way into our chair so our thighs are supported, shoulders down your back. Close your eyes. Just notice once again the breath. And breathe here now as if your whole body can breathe. We want that energy, and in yoga we call it prana. We want it to penetrate every part of our bodies, our toes, our ankles. Energy into the legs and hips, wrapping around the hips into the core of the body, bringing it up into the belly and into the lower back. Breathing further up into the ribs. And then take a breath and direct some energy down the arms into the fingertips and back up. Soften the hands on your thighs. Breathe into the chest area, the neck. And then take your awareness to the face and soften around the eyes, the mouth, the ears. 2 or 3 more breaths here. Feel the body soften. Feel the breath come back to its usual pace. In through the nose, out through the nose. And then we'll take the hands together and rub the palms. Create a little warmth, and then hover that over the eyes, and that warmth, that energy soaks in, further softening the muscles around the eyes and jaw. Open your eyes into that energy and bring them back to your heart, and bow to your body for its fabulous practice today. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.